we are saying pass the Affirmative Action Bill law. When it is done, if you look at other countries, Rwanda, Kenya, South Africa, all those countries that pass legislation, certain measures are put in place to ensure that the numbers that you want appear in Parliament. In our own neighboring country, Sierra Leone, they passed their law in 2022, October. They said minimum 30%. By their next elections, they had a 30% in Parliament. Do you understand? So when you pass the law, the measures are put in place, and then you ensure that you follow through, and then the numbers will increase. In Rwanda, the good thing is that they passed their law. Theirs was also a minimum of 30%. When people saw that women could work, women could also produce and are effective, just as their male counterparts, and in many instances, even better. At the moment, they have about 60%. The law didn't say 60%, it said 30%, but people saw them working. In our own Ghana here, we had a similar experience. The very first affirmative action law we had was called the Representation of the People's Act by the very first president, Excellency Nkommo. He ensured that he passed the law to make sure that we had one woman from each region then in Parliament. So that was about 9.something%. In the next election, which was 65, people could see that these women could work. The next election, we had the highest number of women in Parliament, which was 18.5% in 1965. Unfortunately, there was a coup the following year, and then we didn't really follow through. So in our history, the highest we've had was 18% of women, because people saw that from the lesson of affirmative action, that small trial that was tried, they can work, etc., etc. What to do to get more women active in Parliament? For me, it is sensitization. The fact that a person is a woman doesn't mean they understand the gender issues. So steps have to be taken to sensitize them, to ensure that even within the lawmaking process, they look at what the gender implications of every law will have on men and women. You remember there was a tax law which had something to do with sanitary pads. They just passed the law, high tax, whatever. At the end of the day, a younger woman couldn't afford to buy the pads because the tax that is put on it increases the price. If you are sensitized, then you're able to look out for gender, every issue that comes out, whether to make toilets in schools, etc., etc. Because the need for toilets for women and men differs a little bit. Women need more toilets, healthy, hygienic, whatever. So these are things that people have to be trained. If they don't have any training, people are actually doing training in Parliament. So it has to continue. To be honest, from what I said about the gendered nature, I mean, how the difficulties when it comes to gender, the things that draw women back, or the thing that makes it difficult for women who even aspire to go forward. You understand, I indicated the religious and traditional things. There are some people who are so blinded. A woman can never be a leader in his community because in his environment, women belong to the kitchen. So a woman dares stand up, okay? It's a religious thing, it's a traditional thing. There are so many reasons why. And then even when it comes to education, okay? For a while, there are many families where if they have to, the money is limited, education for boys, girls, the girl will go a little bit, about class, about worry, so they won't push the person forward. Now things are changing. I think people understand they need to let women have higher and higher education, etc. But people are looking out for certain things when it comes to election. The rough nature of our political terrain. And my understanding is that if you don't have a godfather, you won't go far. Is it true? Yes. And a godfather too sometimes comes with conditions. You understand? If you're a married woman, if you're not married, they will talk about you, or your way, or your shower, or your this, or your that. So many things. Yes. If you're married to, they said, what will fear you in our community? No? So there are so many things that needs to be done.